You won't believe what Justin Bieber just admitted. The global pop star, idol to millions, is now saying he rushed into marriage with Hailey, and he regrets it. What pushed him to say this? And what does it mean for their relationship, his fans, and his music? Stay tuned, because this could change how we see Justin like never before. Back in 2018, when Justin and Hailey had their courthouse wedding followed by a lavish celebration, everyone thought this was a fairy tale come true. People saw it as the ultimate love story. Two young, beautiful stars deeply in love, building a life together. The public believed they were perfectly aligned. But behind the smiles, there was a storm brewing. Justin himself has now admitted that he was not fully ready when he made that life-changing decision. His words and his new music make it clear. He regrets rushing into marriage. In his latest album, Swag, Justin gets painfully honest. Songs like Walking Away and Daisies don't sound like the carefree, upbeat Bieber we once knew. They sound like a man conflicted, a man wrestling with mistakes. In Walking Away, he talks about emotional distance, almost like he's standing in the same room as Hailey but feels miles apart. In Daisies, he sings about selfishness, regret, and the pain of growing too fast. He admits he wasn't the partner he should have been, describing moments of weakness where his fame and ego came before his wife. Fans are interpreting these lyrics as a confession, a hidden way of saying he rushed into something he wasn't ready to handle. One of the most shocking things Justin has revealed was about his behavior early in their marriage. He once told Hailey she'd never be on the cover of Vogue. When Hailey later landed that iconic cover, Justin admitted his earlier words were not just wrong, but cruel. He went online and publicly apologized, calling himself immature. That small detail revealed something bigger. He wasn't prepared to respect and support Hailey as she deserved in those early years. This regret now weighs on him, and he's not hiding it anymore. Insiders close to the couple have opened up about the pressure Justin's career placed on their relationship. At the time they married, Justin was already drowning under the weight of fame. Endless tours, studio work, cameras flashing in his face every day. Hailey was left picking up the pieces at home, trying to keep some stability. Instead of a balanced partnership, their marriage often looked like Hailey being the anchor, while Justin spiraled through emotional highs and lows. That imbalance has been one of the biggest regrets for him. He's admitted he felt unworthy, selfish, and even fraudulent, like the world saw him as perfect, while inside he was falling apart. The pressure wasn't just on him. Hailey, though supportive, became the target of scrutiny and criticism. Every mistake Justin made, every emotional outburst, every break in his public image, somehow, Hailey got dragged into it too. This wasn't the life she expected when she said yes at the altar. Imagine being married to one of the most famous men on the planet, only to find yourself blamed for his struggles. Justin now realizes he wasn't protecting her, and that's a regret that haunts him. What makes this story even more intense is how it affects not just the couple, but everyone around them. Justin's confessions have shaken his fan base. Some see this as him being authentic for the first time in years. Others are furious, claiming he only married Hailey as a way to fill the void left after Selena Gomez. These fans argue that he jumped into marriage as an escape, not as a commitment, and now his regrets are proof. The mention of Selena is hard to avoid. Many fans believe that Justin never fully healed from that past relationship, and by rushing into marriage with Hailey, he was trying to prove something to himself, to Selena, and to the world. Now, those same fans feel validated. They point to his songs and statements as evidence that Justin used marriage as a bandage, only to discover the wound underneath was still bleeding. Still, there are fans who sympathize. They say his honesty shows growth. They argue that regret doesn't necessarily mean he doesn't love Hailey, but that he wishes he had done things differently, taken more time to become a better man before stepping into a lifelong commitment. They thank him for showing that even global superstars make mistakes in love. But this vulnerability is a double-edged sword. Justin's brand has always been about energy, charisma, and perfection. By admitting his regrets, he risks tearing that image apart. Brands that once saw him as a safe bet might start to hesitate, afraid of being tied to his personal drama. At the same time, this raw honesty could reinvent him as an artist, pushing his career into a new era of emotional ballads and soulful confessions instead of party anthems. For Hailey, though, this is a nightmare. Reports say she has been the one keeping their home grounded, yet she's the one now portrayed as the wife of a man regretting their marriage. No matter how strong she is, that kind of narrative is brutal. It paints her as unwanted, as second choice, even if that isn't what Justin meant. Public sympathy may lean in her favor, but the emotional toll is massive. Being constantly judged for your marriage is exhausting, and this could easily break her down over time. And then there's their child, Jack Blues Bieber. Too young to understand any of this, but still living in an atmosphere where his parents are struggling under media pressure and personal regret. Children absorb emotions even when they can't articulate them. If Justin and Hailey can't find stability, the kind of environment Jack grows up in. The storm around Justin's confession hasn't just stopped at fans and music. The media is dissecting every single move he and Hailey make. Every Instagram post, every public appearance, even the way they look at each other in paparazzi shots is being used as evidence to either prove or disprove the state of their marriage. The narrative of regret has now taken on a life of its own. Tabloids scream about possible separation, while commentators online speculate about who's really holding the strings in their relationship. For Justin, it's like his own words have created a cage that he can't escape from. What makes things even more complicated is that Justin himself keeps fueling the fire. In interviews and social media posts, he has admitted to battling feelings of being unworthy and undeserving of Hailey's love. He has described himself as selfish, even going so far as to say he sometimes feels like a fraud. These aren't small admissions. They're bombs dropped into the middle of a marriage that's already under the brightest spotlight in the world. Each time he opens up, it pulls Hailey into the storm with him, whether she wants it or not. For Hailey, the weight of these revelations is becoming more visible. She has spoken in the past about being the stabilizing force in their marriage, about being there for Justin through his darkest moments. But hearing your husband publicly confess that he regrets rushing into marriage can't be easy. No matter how strong you are, it places her in a position where she's constantly defending a relationship that should be private, and it fuels a public perception that she might not be enough for him. Even if Justin doesn't mean it that way, that's how it sounds to millions of people reading the headlines. Behind the scenes, insiders claim that the couple has already been in therapy, trying to address the cracks in their marriage. They've reportedly talked about slowing down, focusing more on family life, and less on projecting a perfect image online. But therapy only works if both partners are committed. The big question is whether Justin's regrets are temporary doubts or a sign of something more permanent, a deep dissatisfaction that might one day push him to walk away. Fans haven't made it any easier. Social media is flooded with people demanding that Justin either fully commit to Hailey or leave her. Some say his regret proves he married her for the wrong reasons, while others think it's a natural part of growing up and realizing the weight of adult choices. There's even a group of fans convinced that Selena Gomez is still the ghost haunting this marriage. They believe Justin married Hailey too quickly after Selena because he couldn't stand being alone. And now the regret he's feeling is proof that he never truly moved on. Whether that's true or not, the theory has caught fire, and it's adding more pressure on Hailey, who's constantly compared to someone from Justin's past. This situation has also changed how the industry looks at Justin. Record labels, brands, and managers know that public image drives business. When Justin appears unstable, it creates risk. Will he be able to tour? Will he be emotionally strong enough to handle the demands of fame? Will fans lose interest if the story becomes more about regret than about music? These are questions people in the business are asking, and Justin's team is scrambling to manage the fallout. His vulnerability may win over some fans, but for corporate deals and polished campaigns, it's a gamble. At the same time, there's a growing sense that Justin's music is about to enter its most powerful era. His willingness to open up, to write about regret and the struggles of marriage, could redefine his artistry. We're seeing glimpses of it already in swag. Instead of club anthems, we're hearing confessionals. Instead of bragging, we're hearing apologies. For the first time, Justin's music feels like a diary, and that raw honesty could turn into his greatest strength. Looking ahead, there are a few possible outcomes. One path is that Justin and Hailey use this regret as fuel to rebuild. They could take a step back from the spotlight, focus on therapy, and emerge stronger, showing the world that rushing doesn't always mean failing. Another path is darker. Justin's regret grows into resentment, and Hailey, tired of being the one holding everything together, eventually walks away. And then there's the unpredictable third option. The marriage continues, but under constant tension, with both of them living half-truths in front of the cameras just to keep the narrative alive. Whatever happens, one thing is certain. Justin's confession has changed everything. His fans see him differently. His marriage looks different. Even his music feels different. He's no longer the untouchable pop star living the perfect life. He's a man with regrets, a man questioning his choices, a man whose marriage may not be the fairy tale people once thought. And whether this regret ends up destroying him or transforming him, the whole world is watching, waiting to see the next chapter unfold. So, what do you think? Can a marriage survive when one partner openly admits regret? Or is Justin's confession the beginning of the end? Whatever side you're on, one thing is clear. The story of Justin and Hailey is far from over.